Hello, I would like to inform you that what you're about to listen to are the views and comments from the host and guests and only reflect their own views and not the community as a whole. I hope you enjoy the podcast, and Eddie, play that banter section.
Hang on, you still haven't come up with your podcast name?
It's hard, okay?
I thought it was about Shakespeare.
No, it's about everything. This is the issue, is I could be really boring and be like, Charlotte captures and just do it about photography, right? But I'd like it to be about, like, more than just that.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't have to be alliterative. I'd like it to be clever, because I'm going to have to stick with it. Maybe I just have Charlotte Woolrich's podcast.
I mean, you've always said that your name is so unique that no one else has that name.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
Also, copyrighted as that bitch. Oh my god.
Yeah, that kind of works, but also not at the same time.
Yeah.
You know I'm going to use that for the banter section, right?
No, go. Oh my god, we're recording. I fully didn't even see that. Oh my god.
Snuck it in there, yeah!
I will wait. He got a geezer. He's got a freezer. Have you seen that?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know. I haven't actually seen that scene itself. Hello, everybody. This is the Ed Talks About podcast, it's not a weekly podcast, a podcast series talking about cosplay, Comic-Con, and everything else. I'm your host, Eddie, and joining us on the podcast is Lady Shazza, or actually just Charlotte Woolrich, photography / cosplay. Welcome to you.
Thank you. I'm Dictionary Corner for today's podcast.
You won't get the reference, but I literally ran off just to grab something, and the third time during the green room, she's played the countdown theme song, and yeah, I felt under the pressure, but I used that. I just said that 3 times, but for the 4th time, I've used it as the bit to start the podcast so that we just get on going. So,
With no context, I've just referred to myself as Dictionary Corner.
Yes, correct. But now I've explained it. I mean, should I keep I might keep it in a little bit. Don't you worry. Anyway,
you know what? I don't know the demographic of your podcast. I would be fascinated to know how many people got the Dictionary Corner reference and how many people were like, "We get it. You have an English degree. Shut the fuck up. Be quiet."
Why don't you call it like the Minority Dictionary Corner, or the Wish.com Dictionary Corner? I don't know. Temu.
What? Because me, Charlotte, a white woman, is a minority now?
I don't know. Oh god, let's not go down that road.
It's okay, I'm ginger. And
oh yes, you are a minority. Yes,
a minority, right? Lord,
I haven't spoken to you in a long time, and I think I know why now.
No. You saying you only talk to me when you need me? Because that's arguably worse.
To be fair, you had a go at me for the football team I support.
I don't really understand football. I just know that if you support Spurs, you're probably a bad person. From learned behaviour, I mean, technically, my family supports Arsenal. I hear the team are doing very well because they are in the England team. But I don't know. That's the extent of my football chat, and I'm thrilled that I've been able to bring my sporting knowledge. If we want to talk about croquet, I'm all over that.
In 10 words or less, and I mean less, explain croquet.
4 people hit balls through hoops in order to win.
Okay. I didn't realise that they had numbered balls.
You go in order of colour. So the post in the middle has 4 colours on it, and you go in order of the colours. But it was that the comma was after 4 people hit balls through hoops in order. So the hoops, there's a certain way you go through the hoops. It's great.
Can you go either side of the hoop?
No,
does it have to go a certain
way? So the joy of croquet is, I'll be quick, I promise. The joy
of croquet
is when...
That should be your podcast title. That should be your podcast title.
It absolutely should. The joy of croquet is when you play it when you're very drunk, and you play against other people, so you can hit somebody else's ball with your ball like as far away as it's humanly possible to get it, and then you watch them blind drunk stumbling through flower beds trying to find it. That's where the joy comes from. It's like purely an evil sport.
But not being funny, when you just smack every ball away from you, then leaving yours behind.
That's what you do.
Oh, okay then. All right, cool.
But you can only hit
maybe I
enough
should
with your ball. Come over at some point and I'll show you how to play, because it's incredibly easy to play well and be horrible to other people.
Okay, then. Can I just verbally abuse them like I usually do?
Yeah, that's also expected, frankly. Welcome to the joys of croquet with me, Charlotte. I'm your host.
This sounds like a really simple version of cricket, but somehow worse.
Oh, it's better.
Oh, is it though? I
found out recently, genuinely, like a couple of weeks ago, that in golf you can't, if like people move their balls so that your ball can't hit their ball, which is like mad to me, because in croquet the whole point is that you go through the hoop and you try and fuck other people over by hitting their ball out of good lines. In golf, apparently, like they're so precious about it. They're like, I'm going to move my ball and put a little token down because I'd hate for your ball to hit my ball. I'm like, you're fucking 5 miles away from them. They don't give a shit where your ball is. No one in golf can control where the ball's going. You're all just drinking and running away from your wives. Like, come on. I hate golf. I've never done golf.
I mean, no, but also, nor have I played golf, but I feel like you've accurately described golf quite well. So, yeah.
Everyone I know who plays golf is horrible.
So, Spurs supporters, golfers are in the same Venn diagram.
Yeah, and weirdly, all my managers at work either support Spurs or play golf. So I wonder where I've got, bringing it full circle, I wonder where I've got that from.
I wonder where. Oh,
you can crop all of this out of your podcast, by the way. I give you full permission.
Oh no, this is all staying in. This is on your obituary. This about Spurs supporters and golfers. But to be fair, I agree with half that statement, and it's the golfer side. I do not understand golf. I do not understand the sport of the pin's over there. My ball's here. I'm going to hit the ball towards. No, I'm going to hit it away from it. Ha ha ha! It's like, how's that sport hitting something? Oh,
now, crazy golf is fun because I'm like, crazy golf, you're like, get the ball in the hole, but there's a windmill in the way. Or like, get the ball in the hole, but it's Halloween. Like that, great. I can do that. I've got minimal walking involved and maximum missing the hole, I guess. Oh,
we've not even done the "how are you" bit. This is.
I asked you how you were.
Yes, but we did that in the green room. We need to do that formally on the podcast.
Oh, sorry.
I have a format. I need to do it as a format on the podcast. You know,
sorry,
we need to pretend that we know each other, that we like each other, we can actually be within each other's company, even though we're virtually doing this.
Hang on. Yeah, I'm ready.
You please tell me you know what I'm doing.
I think I do.
Please tell me you've watched it.
Wait, is this K-pop?
Yes.
Demon Hunters?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it 6 times. Of course I know
Good.
what you're talking
I love that you
why are we talking about croquet when we could be talking about K-pop Demon Hunters?
I did that. Yeah, but I did that podcast last time.
I know you did. I've actually listened to some of it.
Oh, did you? Nice knowing you listened to some of it, not all of it. Thank you.
Hey, I haven't finished it yet. No, I love K-pop Demon Hunters. And I found as a photographer the aesthetics very pleasing. Great to edit to.
Yeah, because you're not an anime girl, really, are you?
It depends. Not really, but I quite like the drawn aesthetic. But I am a massive K-pop fan. So for me,
yes, because I tried to get you down to see Blackpink with me. Yeah.
No, I'm a massive K-pop fan, and I also like really good art. So there's combined like 2 of my great loves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Cool.
How are you, Eddie?
No. Okay, we'll do me first. I'm the honest opinion I can give myself is like I'm surviving, and we'll just leave it at that because I do not want to depress people listening to this podcast. My friends have all heard it, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So, but how are you, Charlotte? How's the last 7 days for you?
weirdly the most chill they've been for a while. I've been really busy. I've had like every weekend a different thing. I had to back out of camp cosplay because I couldn't get the time off work, but actually I think probably a really good call because I've caught up on so much backlog of photos, and then I'm now in the photos I'm like excited to edit again, which is a good feeling. But yeah, I think just coming out of summer's been mad, and I'm massively an autumn girl, so like getting in the spooky witchy season, I genuinely am starting to feel my like creativity come back, because summer just drains me, and then autumn is like have it all back again.
I'm more of a autumn spring person. Like
Nice.
winter, but yeah, I think I just hate summer because it just gets hot. It's just hot. It's just hot and sunny every day,
Yeah.
hot and sunny every day. Whereas autumn, you get the leaves, you get the wind, you get the water, the rain, and
Yeah.
then similar to the spring, it's the reverse of the. Oh, so good, so good.
Yeah. It's like mild in a way where you're like, I could wear a jumper, but I don't have to, and that's a
Yes.
nice choice.
I'm going to risk getting a cold, things like that.
Nice.
Whereas when do you definitely catch a cold if you like, yeah.
I quite like winter. I'm a cold weather person.
Oh, I did not know that.
I ski.
Do you say ice ski?
I said I ski.
Oh, you ski? Oh, I thought you like calling yourself an ice ski or I don't know, what's an
Yeah,
ice
I
ski?
ski. No, I ski, so I'm fine with the cold
Yeah,
because
yeah. Oh, fair enough. Then.
I think I associate it in my head with like nice family time, and like I really like Christmas and stuff as well.
Yeah.
But mainly autumn.
Fair enough then. Oh, that's good. That's good. Shall we get on with the podcast?
Let's do it. I'm
Let's
kind
do
of
it.
excited to see what the audience response is to this one as well.
Yeah, especially when I've titled it "Booking Eddie at MCM London" because it sounds so self-involved, selfish type of podcast. But it's not just about me. It's not. I mean, it mainly is, but it's. But I want to talk about. So I think not many people know my process about how I do things. I think they see parts of it. They see the end results, but they don't know the full process.
I think you need to start by explaining that so that everyone has like a baseline of your Comic-Con process.
Well, yeah, because I think people see my schedule go up online. That's one thing. They see me at a Comic-Con. They may see me with a bit of paper in my hand, and then then they see the photos. But I feel like there's a lot more in between that a lot of people do not see. And I'm not trying to tell people, well, you should appreciate me more. That is, I put all this effort. I'm not saying that. I merely want to just express the work I put in, and I then hopefully people understand why, when certain topics pop up, why I get very annoyed by it.
I was about to say, I genuinely think that this will be a good one for you do not realise how much admin goes into even the lightest bit of planning for a shoot. And like, I would say 45-50% of the work is not even the editing and photography. It's the like planning, organising, shooting. Like literally just finding someone's account. It's nuts. Like, God help.
Oh my God, the old days where I used to tell people. So I was lazy when it comes to like trying to get people's details. So I would hope that they would contact me. So I would go to because I like to think that my page name is quite unique and you can't really forget it. But it might be that it's not like they've forgotten it. It's more about they just didn't realise they shot with me or something like that. I don't know. But I usually go and find me on Food and Cosplay on Instagram or Facebook when it used to be popular and things like that. And I would never get anything. So I would then have to hunt down, like you said, through hashtags of like MCM London 2014 or something like that. That's how back in the day I'm talking about, and just got to scroll through every photo that's been tagged in that, and it takes forever. You think, oh, that was a unique cosplay. I'll just type in that, and then boom, everything turns up from every other continent in the world. You go, oh yeah, that happens as well. It's not easy. And you think, oh, actually, that person was talking to that person. Maybe I can find them if they did. I could selfie together, see if I can. Oh yes, I found it. Woo! Like that. So you get some successes, but yeah, 9 out of 10 times I'd fall badly, like not. And I did try to catch people's names, but I used to do a form that people filled in, and then at least it's saved that way. But it's my laziness that I will say. But I mean, I mean, what I've just said, does that resonate with you?
I think, yeah, I used to do. I'd either get people to put their cosplay with their name in my phone so I could find them, or I'd book, which I assume we'll talk about in a bit. But
Yeah.
like what I mean, when I started, everyone had business cards. So I have a folder somewhere of all the business cards I got at con, and it's like about 50 business cards from people like cosplayers, photographers, creatives. Like everyone would just give you tangible stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously for the environment and stuff, moving away from that's probably a good thing. But yeah, it's the tough thing is when you're like, I don't know the name of this anime character, but it's a really nice photo, and I want to tag them and I want to credit them, but I don't know who they are. So either I look negligent, but they never contact. It's just it is faff, and it, you know what? It more than anything, it's just brain power. And like, I love the photography, I love the editing, I love working with people, but occasionally when it's just like a shoot that somebody else used to do, but you weren't like super emotionally invested in. Once I've done and edited the photos and put them up, I don't want to have to chase people down. So now I do a system of like the albums are up all year round, all the albums I've ever done, all the photos I've ever edited. You can download them at your leisure. If you refine my page and remember that you shot with me, it will be in the album of the con you're at. And then I'll post like the best of what I liked doing.
Majority of what you just, sorry, I don't know if you heard the sniggering from me. The majority of what you just said, I resonate with that. I'm not going, I'm far too lazy, I'm far too this, I'm far too that. Please just, you contact. So what I've recently been doing, so I came back from VeeamCon, which I will do a review of that event. Because a lot has changed since the last time I did a review of that event. So I feel like it warrants a new review of that event. But what I've been doing recently, and I have been doing it in the UK cons, but I've been going up to the cosplay who haven't booked me. They just said, "Oh, can I shoot with you?" Or I've seen them. "Oh, can I shoot with you?" I would actually go to them and say after the shoot, I said, "So do me a favor, can you DM me on Instagram? So here's my page. Can you take a picture of yourself right now? Send it to me. So one, I know your page. Two, what cosplay you're wearing, and then it covers those bases very quickly, very easily. So
Yeah,
yeah."
definitely. It's a tough one because you don't. It's not laziness. There comes a point where it becomes unreasonable to chase people down.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think a lot of it now has moved to like, if you really wanted the photos, you can't. I think we're both also at a level now where we're not chasing people to post our stuff. We're like, and not in an elitist way. It's just a case of, I know my work is good. If you saw what you liked on the back of the camera and you'd like to come and get them, then here they are.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think when people get really excited when they see the back of the camera go, "Oh my God, that's amazing," because I still get that reaction from time to time. I'm like, you better then remember who I am. You better find me. But like you said, it's, you know, it needs to be two-way communication and things like that, which we'll talk about communication later on. And by the way, it hasn't gone unnoticed by me that what we are going to be talking about, we have probably said this 1,000 times on different podcasts, either with Charlotte, with other guests, and all that. Again, I'm just condensing all of this into one podcast so that it's easily done. I can easily pass this on to people, maybe. I don't know. But if you feel like you've heard this before, thank you for like downloading parts of it and listening to parts of this. Thank you. If you please listen, and hopefully you might discover something new about how I do things and maybe how other photographers do. Because Charlotte's here both as a photographer as well as a cosplayer, so hopefully she can input different points of view from what I'm saying. She might disagree with how I do things, and that's fine.
Well,
I
we used to do it very similarly, and now I've kind of gone like almost entirely opposite, which is quite nice because it means we can actually talk about stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, let's start with the booking system then. So the way I do things, and I've been doing this for over 10 years now, probably, and it's gone through different phases now about how I book cosplayers into my schedule. I used to do it very manually on Facebook, where I just say, Here's my times, every half an hour block. Here it is. You tell me the cosplayer, your name, your social medias, and the time, and it's done. And there's no vetting or anything like that for me. And I know other photographers go out of their way to go, "Oh, let me know what you've got. I'm not too sure about that." And Charlotte will say this is like, that's no, what's the word? It's nothing against you or the cosplay per se. It's more about maybe the actual character itself. They don't know, don't understand. It may not be fitting their photography style. So when a photographer says no, don't take it too personally. Charlotte, am I speaking too much behind your half?
No, I agree. Like, for the last like 2 or 3 years, unless it's an anime that I'm really like that I like, or the costume's great, I steer away from anime because I don't watch it, and therefore I have no emotional joy doing it. So yeah, and like it's not because I dislike anime; it's just because creatively that's not what I want to do. So
Yeah.
I tend, if people are like, I've got a full anime weekend, I tend to be like, cool. Well, if you see me for a headshot, you'll get a headshot, but you're not going to get one of the like massive big edits
Yeah.
shoots with me, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's that's absolutely fine. I think for me, I'd say yes because I've been in that position of being told no, and it feels horrible. So I think I've pigeonholed myself into a hole where I have to say yes to people, and it's sometimes it can be such a detriment to my own style or my own needs and things like that. And yeah, so
I
like,
think I'd always say yes on the day, and I will always do at least like a couple of headshots, be like portraits.
yeah,
Um, but if it's beforehand and people like, I have a choice of characters, if one of them's anime, I'm almost never going to pick that,
yeah, yeah,
unless it's something like Arcane or Demon Hunters, where I'm like, this is sick. But
absolute one.
but then you've got to protect yourself as a photographer. Like what I've learned is that sometimes saying no, but because I don't love it, means that now when I go through my con photos, I'm like, cool, every one of these photos is cool and I have an idea for. Whereas before I was stuck with like 40, 50 characters I didn't know. And I was like, this isn't fun. This is just like work.
Yeah. No, I get that. Absolutely 100%. Sorry, I went off a bit tangent, but just say that I used to manually do all of the booking and stuff, and that was such a stress for me, an absolute stress, and I had to find a way to do this. Had to find an automated way of doing this, and I found this service called Calendly, which I will promote this. I'm not, by the way, sponsored by any of the things I say online, say in this podcast, so I'm saying this out of my free will of some of the services that I use, and yeah, Calendly is a service where I have been using for a couple of years now, and it's been an absolute savior of my own sanity because I used to sit there for about hours, like 2-3 hours, like trying to book it in, cross reference, and then tell them, oh no, that someone just got this slot now. Can you give me a different time and things like that? Now it's all automated. It goes into my calendar now, and things like that. And Charlotte, have you gone through my calendar process or not?
Yeah, I did. Do you remember I reloaded the page and there was when you'd said it was full because I was like, nah,
Yeah.
it's not. And you just cancelled someone's slot, and I instantly booked it. And you were like, "What the fuck? I've just said it's full. How is Charlotte just?" And then you rang me instantly, and I thought you were going to be like, "Oh, there's been an error," and you were like, "How have you done that?" I was like, "Well, I was like, naturally, there's going to be a slot for me, Eddie, obviously." And
But before we carry on, before you carry on, Charlotte, when I cancelled the slot, it meant was because the two slots was from the same person, and my policy is only one person per slot. That is it. Do not think that I cancelled someone for Charlotte. It was because someone had two slots. I cancelled one of them. Carry on, Charlotte.
yeah, it was just nuts timing, but it was really good because I could literally be like, I was like, "Cool, okay, so I know at this time on this day."
Mm,
I'm shooting this with Eddie. It was really easy actually and fascinating because I used to do when I booked slots, I used to say message my slots are open, message me,
mm,
and then I would like leave it for like a day and a half, and then I would go in order of people that message me and slot them into a schedule manually. So I was like, if I love the cosplay, I'd do like an early evening one, so the light would be really beautiful. And if it was one I didn't care for so much, I'd do like a nice portrait in the middle of the day. But
mm.
it meant I could really like creatively pick and choose. But
Yeah,
as a cosplayer, your method's better because I was like, I know I'm booked in. I'm not having to wait.
yeah.
It goes to both of our calendars. Like it makes a lot more sense. And I think if I was still booking slots now, I would, both as a photographer and cosplayer, prefer to do it that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, this has been such a time saver for me, and absolutely, I could not sing the praise of Calendly any more than I do at the moment. The only thing I have an issue with, which I don't know if it's really happening, but I don't know if it's actually sends out a reply to say your booking has booked. I have to manually tell people through social media. So there's still a manual process for me that I get the notification for it, and it goes into my calendar, and I can see it popping up in my calendar. But it doesn't seem to tell the cosplayer, so I have to then tell them manually one by one. So that's another side to the admin side that I have to do. Is do that.
Maybe it's if they don't have an account or something.
No, it asks for their email, so I should send them an email anyway. So
I'll double check after this podcast because I can't remember if I've had emails from you or
yeah,
not.
that's fine. Yeah, absolutely. So we discussed about it, and you kind of liked, if you as a cosplayer like this idea of booking it in, is it, like you said, is it because you know there's a time and a place and it's dedicated to you? Is that the reason?
Yeah, and I think it gives you the time to be like, okay, my shoot is at 4, say. So at 3:30 I might run back to the hotel room, re-glue down my wig, refresh my makeup, and then I'm basically walking out to that shoot that I know is happening, like fully ready. Whereas a lot of the times when someone kind of just finds you in the middle of the day, if a photographer finds you and asks for a picture as a cosplayer, like you might have just like something might have been dripping, or like makeup might be a bit smudged, but you kind of feel like you have to like, yes, of course, and do the shoot right then and there. Like you can't really be like, oh, can I have 2 minutes to fix my makeup? So often I've had photos back from people just grabbing me, especially earlier on when my makeup was like wouldn't last a day, where like my mascara smudged or something. But then shoots I've scheduled, I've like got my powder out, fixed it, I'm like not shiny. So arguably it's better for everyone because like I know I'm going to a shoot, I know I want to look good. It's easier for you because I look camera ready.
It
Which is
is quite. No, it's interesting to hear you say that because, like you said, you've gone from a scheduled shoot to just come and find me, and I do find a lot of photographers seem to do that now. Just
but
say,
if the
"Come and."
cosplayers find me, then I assume that they're like, I would like a picture, so they'll be kind of camera ready. Whereas like if a photographer finds you, you might feel like with photographers, I know I'd be like, give me 1 second just to like put powder on. But if it's someone I don't know, I kind of just have to be like, well, whatever I look like is, I guess, whatever they're taking. So sure.
Yeah, I just find it weird because I have a book system so that I have a fixed number of people that I know I'm going to shoot with. Well, I say a fixed number of people. We'll discuss that later. Do you get to a point where you feel like, okay, next person, whoa, when did that line get bigger? Do you know?
Yeah, I without sounding like a complete arsehole, and I'm going to sound like a complete arsehole, but I'm very proud of myself for it, to be fair. I think this third con I was booking for, I didn't have enough slots, giving people 20-minute slots to fit in as many people that wanted to shoot with me, which is like the best problem to have and also the scariest problem to have is like, oh my god. So I realised, but I'm sure you'll touch on this later, people being stuck in queues, especially when there were more panels at con, or like being 5 minutes late was pushing everything back. So I was having to try and like slot people in that were there before that, and it just went to a mess. Whereas now I find if I go, cool, if you see me in the trees and I've got my camera out or I don't, tap me on the shoulder, ask me for a photo, most likely I'll go yes. And then when I've got my camera out, there'll be like 10 or 15 people be like, oh, Charlotte's got a camera out, and come and ask me for a picture. But then I've got everyone, like I'm taking pictures and I'm in that mode. And I mean, I only need 2 or 3 minutes to take a fucking great picture of people now.
Oh my god, how much of an arsehole can you sound
I've
like?
been doing this for 10 years now. I'm like, when we're at Excel and you're in the trees, there's only a few things that will be like a great photo. So if someone comes up to me, I'm like, give me 2 minutes, we'll take a great photo. Obviously, I'll give people more time if they need it. But I'll be like, give me 2 minutes, we'll get 4 or 5 great photos. Like, you'll be happy, I'll be happy. It's not going to be the best photo in the world. We're at a con. But then I can kind of just cycle through the people that are literally there, and I'm not waiting for someone who may or may not turn up. So I found that now works way better for me. And it means when I put my camera away, I can kind of go back to the cosplaying side and being with my friends, or having people take pictures of me, and people can ask, I can be like, wait till my camera's back out, because now is like my cosplaying session.
See, that sounds like a complete nightmare to me. Like, if I had a queue of people waiting for me, the pressure's just like, quickly get through them. I need to get all these people, and I don't want to say no to them. I don't want to disappoint people. That is literally my mind.
It used to, but then I realised, like, people are happy to wait because they know that when I'm taking pictures of them, my focus is entirely on them, and I've made that really clear. I'm like, I'll turn around and I'll be like, right, the next, like, you're next, then you, then you. So if you need to get ready, you're ready. So I'll always, like, warn the next, like, 3 people coming up. and then I'll be like, cool, and then I'll give the rest of you numbers. But whoever I'm then shooting, I'll turn back around. I'm like, this is now your shoot. We will get you good pictures, work on your pose, and then we'll like snap out of it. But like, cool, the next person. And I think people kind of, especially who've worked with me before, know that by having a little queue and jumping around, I'm enabling myself to give people space, because I'm like, I told you I'm going to get to you. If you wander off, that's fine. I told you you're next, but my attention is now for this person.
I don't know why my brain all of a sudden went to meat counter, and you know those ticket things that save your number. I think you should have one of those at Comic-Con.
But I don't want to number people. Like, very occasionally, is like, I'll have people like running up and they'll be like, I have 2 minutes before I've got this panel, and I really want to shoot them. And I'll go, okay, I need to take 2 headshots of this person, and I'll know them extremely well. And it'll take less than 30 seconds, and we'll do like 5 poses, and then they'll go. And it's like of no impact to anyone I was about to shoot. So it gives, and like, I do have ADHD, and I think having the freedom to be like, okay, I've got a fucking great idea for this, and like just letting my creative brain run, not on a schedule, means that people objectively now have better pictures from me than they did before. But also now means that when I put my camera away, I'm giving myself the headspace to be like, okay, now I'm back to being like the cosplayer. If people approach me, that's fine, but I'm now in socializing mode, because I never used to talk to people at con, and I've made a real conscious effort to have like hours now where the camera is not there, and I'm actually being like, how's your family, how's your day, what are you doing?
Oh no, I get that. I get that. Yeah, no, I think it's very important to give yourself time, which I have done, because in my calendar, which everyone has a go at me for, and I do put it in, I do put in a fucking lunch hour, so I have lunch for an hour, 1 hour. I go to the Fox and have lunch.
You give yourself an hour?
Yes.
Damn.
I'm getting old. I need my hour rest, all right? If I could have an hour nap, I would.
I thrive off the chaos.
I
now have people offering me coffee though, which is I never had before, and people will rock up and be like, we're going on a coffee run, do you want a coffee? And I'm like, yeah, you are the backbone of my Comic-Con, and your photos are now front of that queue. You're welcome.
Jesus.
I couldn't do the lunch. I think I'd feel like I was missing out for an hour. I'll grab food and kind of bring it with me on the go.
I think
sitting down doing lunch now.
Yeah, I tell you the benefit of having a lunch hour at lunchtime, and I mean this wholeheartedly when I say that, is that I think I missed the peak of people like bundling out of the Excel into the outside area, and then that becomes even more of a mayhem.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so like missing, if I had my lunch either at 12, 12:30, maybe 1, and then, wait an hour. I'm not saying it dies down, but I think the peak of it, I start seeing it drop off a little bit, rather than I'm at the peak going, oh God, how do I move around here? Like that. Yeah. So things
Can
like
I ask a question about your booking system?
Sure, go for it.
From your point of view,
yes.
As through the day, does the calendar give you a notification of like, this shoot's coming up, you need this reference photo attached to it, here you go, like it like pings you, or do you just know to check it?
And it does ping my because it goes into my Google Calendar. It comes as a notification saying you're shooting with Charlotte for 4 o'clock. I go cool. So it gives me an hour notice. So I'm already thinking 2 shoots ahead of myself. So let's say I'm shooting with Adam. I know Eve is coming up the next half an hour, and then the next half hour after that is Charlotte. So I'm already like 2 people ahead of me going, right, I know I've got these people to keep an eye out for and prepare myself and this, that, and the other. So yeah, it only gives me a notification who I'm shooting with, not, shall we say, the plans I have for them, which again, I'll talk about that probably next, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yes, well, I mentioned that I contact cosplayers, and I do 2 stages of that, actually. So I do one of the day of, if not the day after they've booked me. So when my schedule does go out, I confirm it at least to say, just to let you know, you've got this all booked in. Great. Then I do another contact the week of MCM London, so that it's just a reminder to say, just to let you know, Charlotte, 4 p.m. we're shooting this cosplay. Any difference, any changes to your cosplay, let me know.
That's extremely helpful. As a cosplayer, that is genuinely so helpful.
Because like I said, like look, we've both done this for many years now. I'm not suggesting that cosplayers are negligent or things like that, but I know people can be forgetful. The excitement of cosplay, the excitement of Comic Con, the excitement of being at UK's biggest Comic Con event. I get that. I understand that you're back to the walls trying to get your cosplay done. I get that. That's fine. So a little reminder here to go, hey, Charlotte, just let you know, 4 p.m. Don't forget, I'll be here. Things like that. And I sometimes do get a reply back to say, yeah, thanks for the reminder, or just look at thumbs up, this, that, and the other. Good, cheers.
Normally from me, you get, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm so sorry. And I know I've sent you that message before. You've been like, oh, you're doing this shoot. I'm like, not if this zipper's not in, it's fucking not. But I do actually really appreciate it because I tend to book stuff quite far in advance if I remember, which I don't.
Yeah.
Because I prefer just rocking up.
Yeah.
But then when you message me, I'm like, okay, I now know I need to actually make a mental note of like that's something I have to attend.
Exactly.
So I'm here for it.
Exactly. I mean, it would help that the email, if Calendly does send out an email, that you could add it to your calendar, things like that. Anyway, enough about that. So that's part one of my admin that I do. Here's the bit which takes the biggest part of my admin, besides the editing, is what I call the reference sheets. And I spend hours, and I mean hours. I always tell myself this will only take 1 hour. But for some reason, this takes me a couple of days over a few hours. No, it takes me a few hours over a couple of days to get this done. So I will go through the whole calendar and say, I'm shooting Charlotte. She's doing Agatha from, what's it called, that show?
Agatha All Along.
Thank you very much. I knew it was something. I knew it just wasn't called Agatha, but Agatha All Along, yeah. So, Agatha All Along. Right, I need to go and look at reference pictures of from the show. So I literally Google into Google Images Agatha from Agatha All Along and see pictures that I've gone, I like this pose, I like this, cool, pull, copy and paste it. And sometimes obviously if you ever use Google Images, there are duplicate images, so you just go, I've got that pose, or I've got something similar to that one, I just move on. There's not sometimes, depending on the character, sometimes it's quite limiting what poses you get. Now, you may go to yourself, why don't you just use Pinterest and things like that? You're right, I could use Pinterest. I am an old man. I cannot be bothered to use another social media thing. So for me, Pinterest is a no-no, not because it's a bad thing or anything like that. It's because I'm happy doing what I'm doing and it's fine by me. So, yeah. But like I said, I will try to find about 6, maybe 7 photos per cosplayer of different poses, different angles, different looks, and what could also, but that number could change if I'm shooting duos. So if I'm shooting duos, I'll do 9 photos that I want. I'll do 3 pictures as a duo, and then 3 pictures each as the solo, so that everyone gets at least 3 photos of themselves plus themselves in a duo group. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, and I don't just pick images that go, that looks good, pull. Oh, that looks good, pull. When I say pull, put, drag and drop, and things like that. I do consider the following. I do consider, hey, does this pose look good? Yay. But can it be actually done? Can it actually be achievable? If it's something like, they're climbing up, 4 foot off the floor, they're hanging off the ceiling, I don't know, they're jumping mid-air into the river or something like that. Are any of these, plausible poses? Majority of the time, it's probably no is the answer. So I've got to pick images that I feel like this is achievable. But also, whilst I'm thinking about, are these poses achievable, it's also, where can I shoot this? And I have to keep in mind that I'm shooting at the Excel. Now, a lot of the time, I do think of the location on the spot, but at times I do try to think, will this work with most places, if not all places, at the Excel? Now that the rules, I don't know if the rules have changed again, but the last few times we are penned in within the fence now, so it's not that much of a wide selection now to shoot in. So really got to be very careful and thoughtful about the poses I'm picking that fits the location of the Excel. Charlotte, you've seen my reference sheet. When you first saw it, Were you like, oh, what's this? Oh, wow, you were, because I get a lot of people go, wow, you're really prepared. Like, what, what's your reaction when you see my reference sheet?
I think from a cosplayer brain, it's really nice because I'm like, this photographer has thought through what they want to shoot, and it's not just. It feels much more collaborative because you would like to assume that if you're cosplaying someone, you know them quite well. Um, so knowing that they might also now know enough about your character, at least aesthetically, to be able to like chime in, or they know what you should be looking like, is like a nice safety net. But
Mm,
also, like sometimes you'll pull stuff that I really hadn't thought of, and then we'll try it, and I'm like, that worked so well. Can I tweak it to this, which feels a bit more like the character? And like, it's a great jumping off point. And I can imagine if you're shooting with people that aren't comfortable in front of the camera, it just removes like 5 minutes of awkwardness because you're like, you can copy this. This
oh,
is,
yeah.
great.
100%. The amount of times I've had to, which with everyone's got photos of me doing this. It's basically doing the poses myself, bending my back, being on my tiptoes, or pushing my chest out, hips out to the side, things like that, and hands on my hips, things like that. So, it. I kind of don't mind doing that because it adds a bit of all. What's the word? I was going to say familiarity. That's not the right word. Adds a bit of ease to the day. It feels like it's, if he's willing to do that, I'm willing. I should do at least part of that. I feel like he's not too stiff about the poses. He's not asking me to do something I'm unfamiliar with. If he's willing to do it, then I should as well. So things like that.
But
But
it's also
yeah.
like, it's interesting as a photographer because I kind of do an opposite where I like approach. I like seeing what the cosplay is and then seeing how I can work it at con. And
Mm,
like, I don't necessarily do the thinking beforehand because I'm like, well, I know what my parameters are at con.
mm,
And so depending on your fabric and the quality of your wig, like how shiny it is, what makeup you've got, how many of you there are, I know I'll literally just like take a second and be like, okay, I know where I'm taking you. And it's I'd much prefer getting like that lightning of inspiration in the moment, and I have the backup poses for if I'm
mm.
not sure. Then I think if I overthought it too much beforehand, I would get stressed out and like my photography would be worse.
Oh, see this. I think because I get decision paralysis, where if I have too much choice to like what pops into my mind, I don't know what I'm doing. Or if I don't have a choice, I feel like I'm even worse off. So for me to do these reference sheets, it takes out the thinking out for me. I can just go, hey, do this. Do you like this pose? Great, let's go for it. I
I mean,
don't.
some of my favorite photos we've taken were the cowl ones, where you've got me walking down, and then I mean, we got so lucky with the light as well. But this is the Jedi, Ginger Jedi,
Yes, I
and
was trying to think which one you're
yeah,
talking about. Yeah,
well, because you specifically said to me, you're like, I don't really know this character that well.
yeah.
I don't know if you do now, but you were like, I know it's a Jedi. Great, let me look up some stuff. And then like I was like, I want to do some sitting, but apart from that, I've not worn this before.
Hmm.
And using the reference photos, we got some really cool walking ones where it was like, you have to properly cross one leg in front of the other,
Yeah,
which was from a reference photo and feels stupid but looks great. And like, we wouldn't have necessarily done that
yeah.
if we hadn't had like a literal look at this, do this, trust the
Hmm.
process.
One,
He's thought about it as well.
oh my god, trust the process always crosses my mind. I think, like I said, I've done this for more than 10 years now. I know as much it looks stupid or may not feel comfortable or natural, I can see what's in the camera and I will always show the back of the camera so you know what I see. But like you said, trust the process and you can always go, no, I don't like that. Can we not use that? And that's absolutely fine. You can always say no to these photos. That's absolutely fine.
It's also fine to remember, like, sometimes you might shoot with someone new and you might just not vibe with that photographer. Like, I've shot with people before
Mm.
where, sorry, that click was annoying.
It's all right. Carry on.
I've spilt ink all over myself while I'm talking to you, so I'm trying to clean it off. Um,
Do you want me to talk so you can clean up or do you want to carry
no,
on?
I've
Okay.
done it. I was putting the lid back on the thing so I didn't spill more.
The irony of that.
I know. What was I even saying?
I can't remember if I.
Hang on, wait, it will come back to me.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
it's nice posing. The
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
might.
different
Yeah.
photographers. Yeah.
So I've worked with photographers before where I've enjoyed working with them, and I've liked the photos, but then when I've seen like them edited, or there'll be just something where like, and maybe it's because I also do photography, but there'll be something with the edit or like the way which ones they've picked, or the fact they haven't edited something that I would have done, where I'll go, okay, it was a great experience, but these aren't ones I want to shoot. Or like, okay, they are a lovely person, but I don't vibe with that style. And it's not a waste of time, and it's not an insult to then not share it. Like, obviously, as a photographer, you always hope people will love your work and share it.
Yeah.
But it's really important to remember that if you're just not feeling a shoot, or you finish a shoot, or you get images back, you can be like, thank you so much, I love them. You don't have to ever use them. So there's literally no stakes with these shoots. And I feel like when you realize that, you suddenly become way more like free to create, because I'm like, I'll do a mad pose, and if the pose looks shit, nobody else ever has to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important to know what you don't like in a photographer, as well as what you like in a photographer.
Yeah, and like we've said before, always look at their portfolio first. If you look at it and you're like, oh, like I think my cosplay would suit, or like if I'm doing Game of Thrones cosplay and they mainly shoot like cyberpunk or like noir, probably not the right photographer, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But if they're shooting high fantasy and you're doing anime, like again, might not slot in.
Yeah.
Fine. But it's important to remember, like, it's as much a creative process for the photographer as it is for a cosplayer.
Yeah.
So they don't have to vibe for you just because you've spent the time to work with them. Like, it's important the photographer's feeling it as well.
No, I get that. And, you know, I think that there are times when I've said to myself, oh, I've worked with this person once, and I thought we had a good vibe together. They said they liked the photos, but I then never shoot with them again. I'm like, oh, have I done something that they didn't like? But I have to accept that maybe you're right. Our styles do not mix. They don't fit to each other with each other. So therefore, it's fine. I tell other photographers this. There are hundreds and thousands of other cosplayers about you can shoot with. It is not the end of the world. You've got other people to shoot with. That is fine. You'll be fine. So yeah.
Like, you don't have to say yes to everyone. And like, again, you don't have to say yes to every photographer. Like, sometimes people are like, can I shoot? And I'm tired now, or I'm busy, or I have something else to do. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much, but like not right now. And obviously it's lovely to have the luxury to be able to do that, because some people almost do need the content. But it's nice to remember, like, there will always be someone else, and if not, like, I'll reach out to them.
Yeah,
but absolutely. It's more important that I'm happy.
Absolutely. Can I ask you a question as a cosplayer? No. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you think it's important to tell the photographer if you're booking with someone, or they said, oh, can I shoot with you later in the day? Of course. Obviously, you're messaging them. You don't see them, you're messaging them. Is it important to tell them, oh, by the way, I've got a prop with me? Does that changes anything?
I think it depends. I've had people before, for example, Ruby's a great one, where they'll be like, I've got the scythe. And that does change things, because if someone's got a scythe that big, you don't really want them in the trees. So like, if it's really going to change stuff, maybe. But like, I kind of like rolling with the punches. So as a cosplayer, I might not even know beforehand. Like with Agatha, sometimes I'll have the Darkhold-esque book, sometimes I won't. Like, I've got a shattered Scarlet Witch crown I might bring, I might not. So normally I have stuff in my bag, and I'll say to the photographer at the beginning, I'm like, by the way, I have like a mirror and a book if you want them in any shots. And they'll be like, cool. And halfway through they'll be like, oh, could you grab out that mirror? I'll be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I think communicating's great, but I don't think it's necessarily like required, unless, but like as a photographer, you can also be like, no to props.
Yeah, I know, because the only reason I ask is that there are times when I've turned up to a shoot and I've got a reference picture with the prop, but they don't have the prop, and then there's vice versa where I've not included the prop and they have the prop. I'm going, God damn it, this is not fair. So,
I think I never assume that people are going to have a full anything, because I normally don't. So yeah, I'm very much like how you've rocked up is how you've rocked up, and my job is to take whatever's in front of me and take a photo of that.
Yeah,
like,
no, absolutely.
If you're pre-planning and you were like a gun, like the Jinx gun, for example, if someone didn't have that and you had a shot you'd love to do, I'd probably do like a similar pose but with an arm up or something to kind of try and get the energy, but not.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah. That's cool. The only thing, just to add one more thing to like communication with the photographer, if there are various versions of the character, like different costumes, different or a certain thing that you like about the character, do let your photographer know so that they can plan it into their day, their schedule. If you're obviously meeting them out on the day, you can't do anything about it. But if there's time to plan it, let them plan it. So if you let me know that let's take the example of K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't know why that came to my head. There are several versions of the Huntrix outfits you can pick. So if you're going to book me to say, hey, I'm one of the characters from K-pop Demon Hunters, please write down which version. As in, is it the ones where they're on the plane, they're doing the golden song, they're doing the finale song? Why do I not know that song? I've been playing that song forever and a day.
Golden?
Not golden. No, it's not golden. It's this what it sounds like. That's it. What it sounds like.
Right.
Yeah. That's my favorite track, and I always forget why it's called.
This is what it sounds like.
Let me know. Or if they're doing their casual, they're getting the God, I'm giving away the whole plot of K-pop Demon Hunters.
You know what? You are right though, because sometimes I have people with LEDs who come to me at lunchtime, and I'm like, okay, but like, you think this through, and they're like, oh, I want to be glowing. I'm like, right, but there needs to be a certain level of dark before we do this. So with Neve and her Ghost Agatha, I said no to shooting that in the middle of the day, because I was like, your Ghost Agatha glows, and I'm going to do it no services by taking random pictures of it in the middle of a busy con. I would like to do a proper shoot at like dusk sometime with you, where we can like properly have really nice lighting. You will actually be glowing. You know, you have to factor it in. So if you're doing something that would actually require a time of day or a significant change between costumes, because like some of Huntrix's are gold, some are white, some are black, it changes the vibe.
100%, yes. So something popped into my head and I've forgotten now. That's it. I would also, at this junction, before one photo is taken, and Charlotte's just mentioned it earlier, but I'll reiterate, know who you're shooting with and know what their abilities are. If you're expecting the full, different layers of photography, SFX, this, that, and the other, removing the background of this, that, and the other, lights beaming out their eyes, shine, and all of this, but that you've never seen that work from that photographer, you cannot expect that from that photographer. You need to communicate with that photographer. By the way, would it be possible to do X, Y, and Z? Can you do this? Can you do that? It's up to the photographer to say yes or no. I shot someone recently who stormed the Invisible Woman from Fantastic Four, and they never asked me, can you add SFX shield effects on me? I did that for them because I had a vision, but I don't often do that often because that's not my forte. That's not my skill set. But I'm willing to do it every so often, but I'm not going to do it for every photo. So don't feel like just because you see it one or two pictures, I'm doing it for all the pictures and for everyone. There are certain things I'll go, I can see a vision I want here. I'm going to give this a try, because that was something I gave it a try, and god damn, that took me forever. But have you seen those pictures?
I don't know.
I'll show you later. But anyway, go on.
No, you're just so right. Like, I've had people walk up to me before and be like, I want this magic effect. I'm like, okay, but the reason it looked so good in the picture you're referring to is because the light was different, or the trees were empty, so I didn't have to edit anyone out first. Or like, I would say, medium well known for making con shots. Some con shots look like they are not con shots. Like, really cool edits, like lightsabers, Star Wars, bolts, Harry Potter magic, whatever. I love doing that. But to make it realistic, the light has to be right. So especially if you tell me afterwards, like, could you add glowing effects in here? Most of my best photos where someone's doing magic, we've worked really hard in the actual shoot where I'm like, I need you to look like you're doing magic. Like, I need you to lean towards that hand like it's heavy, or tense your fingers more, or like turn your head away so your hand's not in front of your face. Like, there's a lot of steps to do before you get to now the magic powers can go in. So if you want something like that, you have to ask your photographer first, and you also have to know that the answer might be, this is not the time. We will do this, but book me outside of con for like a controlled shoot, and then you'll get the photos you want, rather than hoping someone can do it in a very uncontrolled environment. Because it's not fair on the photographer, because then you're like, oh, I feel like I've let you down because I couldn't do it, but
Yeah.
it really is impossible.
100%. And you're asking a photographer to do something they were outside their skill set, and they edited it that way, but it looked not to your standard. Well, then you can't really shift the blame onto them, because they gave it their best shot, and if that's their best shot, then that's it. That's you. You can't do anything. So I just want to add that in. I just want to throw that in there. And
That's that. If I work with someone when I think their gel lighting is not the best, for example, and then I get those photos back, I'm like, oh, well, the gel lighting wasn't the best. That's on me, because I knew that beforehand by looking at their pictures that wasn't for me. So I can't expect the shoot with me to magically be different. If you either like a photographer's work or you don't, and it's art and it's subjective. And even if you're just trying it, that's fine. But sometimes the answer will be, it doesn't work, it doesn't suit it, or it just isn't possible.
Yeah. No, absolutely, 100%, 100%. I think I've exhausted the part where it takes up most of my admin, which is the reference pictures, and then, as I said, I re-communicate with the cosplayer, the time and place to meet me, and all that. So we can talk about the shoot date itself, which is the easy bit. That's the easy bit for me. It's basically you stand there, pose like this, shoot, click, 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 click. There is a little bit more to that. That's all. A little bit more to that. So, as many people know who have shot with me, I tend to pick one spot to meet me at, which is always at the statue. I don't mind telling people this because it's big, it's thing like that, and because I have a schedule, people can't jump ahead. From there on, I would then ask them where have you had your photos taken with this cosplay, and a lot of the times I would say, oh, no one's taking my photos yet. So, oh, that's good, cool. I will then take the free ray. If they've said, oh, I've had photos at the trees, in my brain that will go, cool, avoid the trees. Because in my mind, it's like, why do I take them to a place they've already had photos and therefore try to get photos that they've already got? Try somewhere different. Try to push your boundaries, push your skill set as a photographer and things like that. So that's how my brain works. So I will ask that question if you ever shoot with me. And then we'll go through the reference sheet and say, hey, is any of these you like? I'll think, oh my God, you got the exact photo that I wanted to do. Yes, I want to do that pose. I'm like, great, let's do this. And we'll try to recreate as much as we can. I always say this is just a reference. We don't have to get every angle, point, pose, straightened back, head tilted in the exact same way. It's just a reference shot. Get as close to approximation to that pose. If it's not perfect, it is fine. You are 100% human. You're not the actual character itself. What's drawn on the pitch, on the image, or how it's animated, may not be possible in real life. Just saying that aloud. Again, communication. If you're going to be running late, that's fine. Just communicate with them. Just say, hey, I'm going to be 5 minutes late. Is that okay? Absolutely fine, not a problem. I'm just coming at a panel. I don't know how I'm going to get through this crowd. I can go, right, if I shoot with this person first and I've messaged them quickly, I can swap you about, done. Things like that. Communication is absolute key. So,
I think you've got the option as well. Like, I've messaged you before and been like, XYZ hasn't gone to plan. Feel free to cancel my slot if you don't have to move it. I think it's really important to know, like, if you can't make something for some reason, sometimes the option might be then you can't do it, and that is fine.
Absolutely. You have done that with me. You've said, hey, X, Y, and Z has happened. Don't know if this group will be good enough or some prop is falling. I can't remember the exact circumstances.
I was like, someone in our group is no longer the character they were going to be. So I was like, you still have the main couple, but then like our third person is not making up the trio. You can, and I said to you, either would you like to swap it to like single shoots of people, or if you're not vibing with it, you can cancel it. And I think you, in the end, you did the couple and then you did singles of all of us because you had nothing for the trio, and that was fine. And the photos are great, and we've all posted them because. But it was nice to give you a heads up, and I said to the others, I was like, if Eddie doesn't want to shoot this anymore because this is not what we booked with him, then that's fine. We'll shoot some other time. Like, it's no problem.
Absolutely. And do you know what? I really appreciate you telling me ahead of time of that, because it gave me. I think my brain doesn't like shocks. It doesn't like unsuspected circumstances. And so if you turn up with a different costume to what I've got in my hand on the reference sheet, I'm going to go, have I made a mistake here? Have I gone wrong here? And I'm willing to go, oh shit, I've got the wrong character. That's fine. But if you turn up on the day to go, oh yeah, I changed my cosplay. Sorry, I hope that's okay. Well, I spent hours, selecting these shots for our shoot. In my brain, initially, I will go, well, that's time just wasted. I will carry on and take your shots, but like you said, energy level just changes a little bit. Your enthusiasm just dips a little bit. If you give me like a day to like change things, or at least even I couldn't change my reference sheet, at least in my brain I've got time to process the information to go, right, I'm not shooting that cosplay anymore. I'm shooting a different cosplay. Okay, cool. Let's get the energy for that one. So yeah.
I think it's important as well to like temper your own expectations as a cosplayer. Like, you don't have to shoot me for me. If we arrange to shoot a specific character, that is enough sometimes. And like, when I was messaging you about that, I said to the people I was with, I was like, Eddie may well just be like, I don't want to shoot this now. And that is on us for changing our plans. That's not like, he does not have to now do this shoot because this is not the shoot he signed up to. And like, it's no hard feelings either way. Sometimes the facts are just like, this isn't what you planned for, so whatever.
Going back to the calendar, do you think that counts as a contract then to say you're agreeing to this time, this place, with this character? That's a contract.
I don't think so. I think it's more like a guideline. So it's like polite to inform someone if the plans change, because it's more concrete than just like rocking up and being like, Charlotte, I'm this, can you take this picture? But also, I think just at any point, much as a cosplayer could back out of a shoot if they're uncomfortable, if a photographer is not feeling it creatively, they don't have to shoot with you. So if they were like, I'm so excited to shoot your Alicent, and I turn up as Gamora, they may well be like, yeah, this is not what I want to shoot.
No, just a thought I just throw out there. Just a thought. Because you do appreciate a good communication with people, don't you?
Yeah, I think just knowing that someone, it's just kind of common courtesy. Like, my biggest bugbear, and I've said this before in your podcast, like, my biggest bugbear is just when people are rude, even like without realizing it. If you're socially just being rude to people and then covering up by being like, oh my god, it's cosplay. No. So especially when I'm putting time and effort in to, like, I have to leave this con with, 8,000 photos and then sort through them all and edit them all and get them back to you so you're happy with them, and it is a lot of work. I don't want that to be any more of a process than it already is. So if the least you can do is like communicate and be polite, that's great. That makes me very happy, and I'll probably edit your photos slightly nicer.
Yes, which comes on to my next point very, very swiftly. Like, I get if some people are socially awkward and all that. I absolutely get that. But I'm sorry, if you book with me and you don't turn up, that is an instant blacklist. Sorry, because if you were able to communicate and go, I want to book with you, and respond with, yeah, that's great, cool, and then you go dark after that, and I've given you ample time to like either say, sorry, can I back out of this, or I've given you a reminder, you kind of went thumbs up, you've seen the message, because I can see on Instagram that you've read the message, and you don't say anything, sorry. And I understand that there are people who are so scared or who are very awkward about confrontation and all that. But you have to get over that, because the opposite to that is me being like this. It's like, oh, you've just wasted my time. But also, what I also think is that I probably don't think about this now as much, but the hype and the not the hype, the peak of my my notoriety in the Comic-Con scene. It's like my slots used to go within like an hour and a half. Sometimes it doesn't go that quickly. It may take a couple of days now, which is fine. I know I'm not the most relevant photographer about, but if my slots go quickly and you took a slot away from someone who could have had that slot with me, you've just taken away that slot from someone who could have benefited from having photo. You don't know if that person is also socially awkward, very doesn't want to ask photographers for photos and things like that. It's already stressful enough. We're in a sea of people who might have hidden disabilities who find it hard to ask someone. So for a booking system where it's quite faceless at the time, great, it gives them an opportunity. And if you take that slot away from someone, that is literally what goes through my mind. I go, you have taken a slot away from someone who could have benefited from this. Sorry.
No, I agree. I think it's like I never really go straight to blacklist. Like the people that I prefer not to work with again will have been rude or dismissive or just like, bad people. But the because my phone has never connected to Wi-Fi or data or Excel, I think with the exception of 1 year, I'm a tiny bit more lenient in terms of if someone says, like, you can shoot with this, or like, I couldn't message you because I had no signal. I'm so sorry afterwards. Like, there was
Yeah.
nothing I could do, or like I got stuck in a panel, couldn't move. If someone explained to me and gave me like a reason, I'd be like, no worries. Like, shit happens, con's crazy.
Yeah.
If they didn't turn up and I just never heard from them, or I just got like a can we shoot later, I'd be a bit like, okay, but I've just waited for you. So it's also partially why I moved away from officially booking, because back when there were more panels and some of the panels were in that really big room where the queue was in the corridor, people basically just couldn't get outside.
Yeah.
So, and you couldn't go in and out the front door. So people were having to walk like a mile to get in and then back out again. So I'd have people being like, I'm so sorry, we're still in the queue for food.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh,
like, look,
yeah.
it's annoying because you've moved my schedule. It's not a bannable offense. I think if it was repeatedly, I'd be like, there has been someone who has booked with me almost every year I did booking. I went up to every year that I saw them in the trees and said, I'm Charlotte, you've booked a slot with me. And every time they went, no, I don't think I did. Bizarre behaviour. Every time. And then they'd message me afterwards and be like, sorry, we missed each other. Like, I really want to shoot. And I still see them to this day cosplaying. And I still have no idea. And they know who I am. And I genuinely am kind of lost for words on so they still tried to book shoots for me towards like the end of me booking shoots, and I just stopped scheduling them in because I was like, I'm gonna walk up to you and you're gonna go, yeah, no, I haven't booked anything in. And like, this person was incredibly distinctive, so I was like, I've not got the wrong person.
Okay.
It's genuinely bizarre. So
Yeah.
that person, I was like, you're not on my blacklist, but I know I'm not going to get to shoot with you, so I'm not going to schedule you in.
I mean, do you show them the message? Go, is this you messaging me?
Yeah, I called them their name. I was like, oh, you've booked a slot for now. They'd be like, no, I don't think so. I'd be like, this is this is almost like not even gaslighting. It's just like, maybe I don't exist in your plane of existence, and that's fine, but I'm confused.
Yeah. I just want to track back a little bit, saying the blacklist thing. You're absolutely right. I don't blacklist them if they communicate by saying, look, I'm stuck in here, I'm stuck there this way. Oh, sorry, I was feeling ill. If they've given me a reason, even a day after the event, you're off my blacklist. You're fine. It's the total radio silence.
Yeah.
If you do not give me anything, and it's happened recently, both at MCM London and VeeamCon, where I don't know why, something happened. To this day, like I think I messaged the people at MCM London, but I definitely messaged the people at VeeamCon. I messaged the cosplayers shoot with at VeeamCon, nothing, and I just thought, what's going on? And like, not an apology to say, oh, I'm so sorry, I missed your message, missed your messages and things like that. Oh, sorry, we missed this. I'm sorry, I really apologize. I'm sorry to waste your time. If you just say sorry, you are majority of the time, by most photographers, will be forgiven. You will be forgiven. But if you stay radio silent, that's worse.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that is worse. And I can't describe to you how much worse that is, but it is worse. So, if you are socially awkward and this, that, and the other, I know it's hard for you to say, I'm sorry, missed the shoot, and all that. But if you can write that message and hit send, that's a lot better than absolute radio silence. You know, and
Yeah, I think just the acknowledgement of like, oh, plans didn't match up.
Yeah.
And that is a completely legit excuse at an event like this. Plans didn't match up, like really apologize, love your work, would love to work together in future, but the 9 times out of 10, I'd just get back to you and be like, completely get it, absolutely no problems, hope to work with you again in future.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know,
It's the lack of like, understanding that, oh, maybe this person had other plans they then couldn't do because of what I did.
And like I said, things happen, like the costume fell apart. That happens. You're stuck at a panel. That happens. You know, you got trapped inside a hole. You couldn't get out quickly enough. That happens. It's all understandable. You know, I will understand. It is understandable. It's a Comic-Con. I would rather, in a sense, you enjoy your Comic-Con. That's absolutely fine by me. You can decide, do you know what? I've had all my photos for the day. I want to enjoy the rest of the con. Do you know what? I've got the shoot with Eddie. Just going to cancel it. Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Not a problem. You're not paying me and I'm not paying you. It's a free service. But
I've had people do that before when they've been like, my costume was really uncomfortable, broke, and I've therefore changed out of it. And I've even had someone's friend come up to me before and be like, I was sent by my friend, her zip broke, she's having like a nightmare, she has no other costume to wear, she didn't want you to be standing around waiting. And I'm like, oh my god, the level this person's gone to make sure that I wasn't put out has put them on my like golden list of like, how considerate. And like, how, if you choose to change out of your cosplay or your cosplay breaks, like, absolutely fine. But the fact you've come to make sure that I'm aware and I'm not looking for you it just goes miles. It's so nice.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And like I've done it the other way around. Like the last MCM May, like halfway through the Saturday, my stomach decided to go south, if you understand what I mean. And I heard that snigger.
Good. I believe I saw you the morning of that as well.
Yeah, because
you were like, Charlotte, I'm dying.
Yeah, because I was very nervous about doing the panel that Saturday, and I went through fine. But I think because of the stress of it, my stomach went, "You thought your day was over? No. we're gonna carry on this day like you started. Oh, thank you, stomach. Thank you very much." And I had to message people in the late afternoon to say, "So sorry, I've got to cancel my shoots because I am close to death." I'm exaggerating a lot.
Good excuse.
Pardon?
It's a good excuse, close to death.
It was an excuse. Do not say that. But honestly, no. Generally, I really did want a chance. Like, I did not want to be pooping myself in the middle of the Comic-Con floor. Do not want to be known as that's the photographer that shit himself. You know.
I would have respected you more if you'd done that.
Charlotte,
oh my god, there's Eddie. He shot himself. Incredible behavior.
Charlotte, we both know that's utter bullshit.
I would have been like, what the fuck, Eddie? No, actually, I would have been like, Eddie, no, it doesn't ring a bell.
That guy? No. You've done multiple podcasts with... No, not that guy. No.
No, I that was food and cosplay, not shit and cosplay. I'm really glad this didn't happen. Oh, dear.
Honestly, I really was worried I was going to crap myself that day.
The best thing was I saw you having had no sleep because I'd finished sewing my cosplay at like 6 that morning. I'd literally done 24 hours up, and you very kindly took pictures of it because you wanted to, but also whilst shooting me you were telling me like, I think I might die, I feel unwell. I was like, I feel bad now, but I'm also too tired to register anything you're telling me.
Was this the main just gone?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I believe so. It was my Agatha.
Is it the disco one?
Yeah.
That was late October.
Was it?
I'm sure.
Maybe I'm lying to myself.
Definitely.
I can't remember what you were telling me when we did that Agatha shoot, but halfway through I realised I was paying way more attention to what you were saying.
Oh, I know what happened. I turned up for the Sunday that one day.
Oh, and you didn't realise you were going to be there?
Yes, that's it, yes.
Yeah, and I was like, but I was so tired. I was like, I don't know who I'm talking to currently.
Yes, I think I half remember that day. And
there's a great picture of me in the background of someone else's like selfie, holding a coffee and a Red Bull and just staring into what I can only describe as the void. Like, there are people talking around me, and I don't think I was present for a good 2 hours. And I was like, I'm so proud that I've done this cosplay, but at what cost?
At what cost? All right. Sorry, I need to go back to the shoot day thing. We need to get back onto the
sorry.
podcast. I mean, is there anything you like to include on on a shoot day?
In terms of
Advice to cosplayers, sorry, or maybe
I think you know what, and it's so annoyingly basic. If you've just got like a hand mirror or something where you can literally just do a quick check of your makeup or run to the bathroom before, especially if you've got some like setting powder or something, most people, just by proxy of like how makeup works, you end up being a bit shiny. And shiny is the hardest thing to get out of a photo. So if you can whack some like translucent powder on, or just like readjust that wig, or realize that your makeup is smudged before the shoot, then you don't have to worry about that when we're shooting. Because often I'll turn the camera around and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't realize like my shirt was untucked," for example.
Yeah.
Which is completely fine. If you realize that and you want to redo something because you've noticed that, tell your photographer, fix it, and retake that picture. It saves us time. But like, if you give yourself the kind of mental half an hour before and go, "I have a shoot coming up. What do I need to do to be ready?" Then you can turn up to that shoot like, "I'm ready to shoot," rather than turning up and then getting ready.
I mean, not just 100%, 1,000%. If there's anything you can do in camera there and then that you can change, that you can move, change, whatever, do it. The photographer will thank you. Trust me.
I've had people notice that their entire skirt was like tucked up on the wrong side before, and they're like, "Oh my god, I hadn't seen it in a camera. It's meant to be tucked on the other side." And like them and their, I've been like, "Cool, fix it now. We'll redo those 2 poses we've just done,
Yeah.
and then drop me a message to remind me like, only look at the ones after the skirt was changed, because you're not going to want the ones where it was wrong, so I don't even have to look at them." And then when I'm editing them, I'll be like, "Cool, so it was not the first 2 poses, it was the ones after that where we fixed it." Easy.
I
Such
usually take a picture of something off the back into the distance, so that I'll go, "What's that weird picture?" Oh, the pictures after that are the ones to use, not the ones beforehand.
That is smart.
Very smart me. Very smart me.
Look at that. Look at that. Learning things.
I always give out this advice to cosplayers, which is always have poses in your head that you want to do in front of the camera. Because
practice in a mirror. It's not
please,
self-centered. It's helpful.
Absolutely. But it's more that not every photographer will be prepared. Not every photographer will know your character, especially if it's a niche character. Please make sure you know your character more than the photographer, because it helps a lot when it comes to your photos being taken. Because if you get your pose right, all the photographer needs to do is go, "Right, I need to get my angles right. Oh, I need to shift you a little bit here, get the light a bit more onto you." Then they get the shot perfect. If they've got to add an extra layer of like, "Oh, can you pose like this and like that?" and it doesn't fit the character, neither you are happy. So just want to say that.
Yeah, I think you can't. Whilst it's great when your photographer knows what they're doing, it's really frustrating when you might not necessarily have worn that cosplay before fully. I get it. I'm normally finishing it the day before.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a clue how you look or how you like to look at all, it's difficult. It's not undoable, but it's really hard to do, because I'm like, what we're now doing, instead of like shooting until you're happy with how you look, is like shooting until you can work out what you even think, and that takes a lot longer. So it's not self-centered to stand in front of a mirror or have your phone up on a video and just do pose, just keep the video running, just do a bunch of poses, and then be like, "Oh my god, I hated these 4, but I like this one." Screenshot that, show your photographer. It doesn't have to be the same outfit. But having any self-awareness goes a really long way, because your photographer can lead you, because we know what looks good. Like, I'll tell people where the light is or where to avoid, because your head will be next to a pillar. But you kind of have to know, like, well, I don't want a double chin, so I'll tell them that, and then they can adjust for that.
100%, I agree with you. I mean, I know it's my little tip, but I mean, yes, absolutely one, yes.
That's because you're wise.
No, because I'm old. I've been around the block. That's sounding quite rude.
Even we've done this where, like, I've said to you before, when I was in that poncho, I was like, "I'm so aware this is going to make me really shapeless. So can you help direct me to like where the poses look dynamic?" And some of those poncho photos we took are my favorites, because I told you in advance, so you knew if I looked like a little square, I wasn't going to like it. So you were like, okay, lift up the saber or whatever. Like, we've adjusted for it beforehand because I told you it. It's not a bad thing to be like, I don't like this about myself. If you're working to avoid it, no one's going to start a therapy session. It's just actually good to know.
And just to give it context, the poncho was the Star Wars character you were wearing.
No, I just always wear a poncho. I'm actually very rarely seen without my poncho.
Oh,
It's my
you're that Charlotte. Oh, yeah, now I remember.
Yeah, sorry, I'm poncho girl. Actually, I am poncho
No,
girl because the actor pointed out I was wearing a poncho in that panel. But
No, but generally I had to go, what poncho? What were you wearing? What are you talking about? Then I realised which character you meant.
yeah,
I'm noticing the time and we probably should wrap up soon. But I want you to add anything else that a cosplayer should bring to a shoot. Not just like obviously the costume, but do they need to bring bring poses? Is there anything else they need? Like, do they need to bring energy to the shoot?
bring a
Ideas?
friend.
Bring a friend? Yes,
If
absolutely.
you're worried or you don't know the photographer, bring a friend. If the photographers don't bring a friend, don't shoot with that photographer. It is literally that simple. If someone, like, if you need a friend who you know is going to be like, you look fat, pull up, or like you look hunched over, have good posture, that at that shoot, that's fine. I mean, let your tog know they're my friend, they can tell me what to do. But like, bringing stuff that you know will help. So like, don't rely on just a photographer. If you've got props, if you're really awkward posing without props, bring props. Think about it beforehand. Don't just assume you're going to turn up and magic will happen. Be like, how do I need to feel comfortable as this character? Then how do I need to? How would I like to shoot this character? And then when you're at the shoot, it's like, okay, how do we work together to bring it together? So yeah, I just think, at least think it through in your head before you rock up, because sometimes people turn up and they're like, God, I haven't even thought about it. I'm like, okay, but now I'm on a timer.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And oh man, I did have a thought that popped into my head and that's just flown out. But yeah, I think the more prepared you are to the shoot, the better it is. And oh god, I think it was something linked to that, but I can't remember now. But yeah, I absolutely 100% agree with you. And yeah, I think. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Now I remember. I remember now. I think do prepare to like engage with the photographer with ideas, but do make sure you're not overstepping. And it's and what I mean by overstepping, hopefully you can recognize maybe you're asking too much from a photographer, or you hopefully can gauge. You go, am I asking enough? Can I ask a little bit more? Don't if you keep requesting a lot of things without and being relentless about it, that can be a bit, like that type of reaction I get when someone asks a lot from the shoot, and I'm like going back to Charlotte's point, like, do you even look at my work? Can you not gauge what I can do? Do you not like how I do things? If you don't like why did you ask? That's the question that runs through my head when that happens. So yeah.
And why did you ask for me if you wanted something so different?
Exactly. And and I get it that sometimes it may be something like, oh, there's a body part I don't like to see. Cool, yeah, I get that and all that, but again, just be careful how much you emphasize that, or run a list of things you want checked before the photos are edited and out. So
Yeah.
um I'm very conscious of time. I didn't realize how long we were chatting for. And also, what was I going to say next? I mean, the last part for me of this whole process is just editing the photos, and every photographer is different. Like some photographers will do it within will get back within a couple of days. That's fine. Some people will do a couple of weeks. That is fine. Some people like me will now take 2-3 months. That is also fine. I've always said Jesus Christ. I've always said I thought actually like 6 to 8 weeks is a good time for photographers to should get their work done, but for some reason I'm getting longer and longer. Like there are days where like it can be really debilitating for me. Like I've had a long weekend at Comic-Con. I'm mentally exhausted. I just need a break. So I kind of leave it a couple of weeks now before I start looking at photos, or most likely I'm still working on my last project. So yeah.
I think I've always held that as long as it was a free shoot, so there was no money changing hands. As long as it was a free shoot, I would expect the photographer to do their best to get them back as promptly as possible within the realms of what works for them. So last con I had, for the 3 weekends afterwards, by sheer chance, were all paid jobs. So I was like, well, that's at least a month that the con photos are not happening because paid work comes first.
Yeah.
And also, like, as long as no money has changed hands, the only thing that you would have lost is time, which is annoying, but not a nightmare. However, like, obviously, if you kind of hope that your photographer has, like, a little bit of, oomph to do them, and you're more than welcome to be like, hey, where are my photos? But if someone's like, I haven't got to them yet, I've been so busy, you have to back off and be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, you've given them that thing. But yeah, I just think I used to be like, do them really fast, and now I've got like a full-time job and like basically a second job and like a bunch of other stuff. Sometimes it's just not tenable.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean I love the photos any less. I'd rather give you quality photos than rushed photos.
Oh, 100%. But I will say on the flip side, I think I would say, even though it's a free shoot, I think there's some sort of obligation to bring it out, to get them out within a reasonable amount of time. Now, it's up to the photographer, the cosplayer, to decide what that means. But for me, I would say reasonable amount is between 3 to 6 months. But I know for some photographers can take up to a year. For that person, that is reasonable.
But I would also add to reasonable, if you need them sooner for whatever reason, tell your photographer.
Oh, God, yeah.
When Wicked was coming out, I had 4 or 5 people shooting Wicked, and all of them said to me up front, I would like these before the premiere comes out, or before the film launch, or for the film launch.
Yeah.
So I literally did all of the Wicked photos first, because I had like 6-7 days till that film came out. And I was like, I get it. If you're a cosplayer and you've got a brand new cosplay and you can have that for the launch, I did like 2 or 3 photos for all of them. And then 2 of my good friends, and I feel like everyone thinks that I just edit for my really good friends anyway. 2 of my good friends paid me like a rush fee, and she was like, I want this batch of photos as soon as possible for my socials. Here is like, tell me how much it will be to basically be front of your queue. At that point, you become a paying client, and I do like your photos first. So like, if you need them for something, tell people. Like, I've had people go, I'm doing this competition and I need these photos for my competition book. Could you get the detail shots over to me by the end of March so that I can have them? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. That's really clear direction on what you needed and when you needed it by. Very easy for me to do. If you rock up to a photographer like 2 months after you shot and you go, well, I needed them like 2 weeks ago, that's annoying.
Absolutely. But I've had this recently with my MCM shots. Though they didn't say they needed it straight away, they just said, oh, how quickly can you get them out? I said, look, I do this in order, I do this and do that. It'll be 2-3 months, which is up to August. So, and they've kind of went, okay, cool, and some try to push their luck, which I've still gone, sorry, I've got to do it my way and things like that. So again, communicate, negotiate with your photographer.
Yeah.
You
and
might
a rush fee is fine. It's controversial, but I think as long as you are giving photos back at some point in exchange for the free shoot, you've fulfilled your obligation.
Yeah.
If someone is like my friends were, I need these in 6 days and I need like 20 photos. At that point, if I'm like, okay, you'll get these photos back from me anyway, but you're paying me to basically drop other work and do your work, you're paying me for my time at that point. So like, but it should always be a case of whether I've been paid or not, these photos would still have been returned in the same condition. You're literally just paying me for my time. You're not paying me for like the shoot. The shoot happened for free and you would have got the photos back anyway.
Yeah. I've got opinions about rush jobs and things like that, rush costs, but that's my opinions. I'm gonna keep them to myself. But yeah, I know where you're coming from, and I can understand what you mean by that. So yeah,
I like money. Hire me.
It's taken over an hour and a half for you to say that.
No, I said it at the beginning.
Oh, did you? Damn it, I missed it.
I've actually said it twice now. So you should hire me twice. I now have going rates. You can message me. My going rates are some money, please.
Some money, please. Throw me the doll hairs.
I'm not doing that impression. I will get cancelled.
What impression did I do actually before I cancelled myself out?
It sounded like an Asian man doing some kind of Bostonian accent.
Cool. Let's go with that. Yeah. Yeah. You cancelled
Which was, I mean, almost indeterminable. But whatever I try and do from that will get me cancelled.
True, yes. To be fair, my accents are horrendous. So, yeah, I don't know what accents I was going for, but yeah. Cool.
I'm here for it. We should do a whole podcast in accents one day.
No, let's not do that. Let's definitely not do that. I do want to end it. Yeah, I do want to end the podcast. Is there anything quickly you want to add, or is that all right, or is there anything you want to ask me about my process?
I just say I assume for you, like talking to cosplayers, you basically turn up prepared and like excited would probably be the biggest thing out of everything.
God, please bring if you bring energy to the shoot, I will bring energy to the shoot. I will match it. If you bring nothing, I do find it hard sometimes to like get going and things like that. So if you bring enthusiasm, I'll be enthused. Yes, 100%.
I'm happy.
You are happy. Good. Excellent. Cool. Right. On that note, Charlotte, where can they find you on the social media? Should they want to find you, hire you, see your work, or rant at you about croquet?
They can find me. Please talk to me about croquet, first of all. I will talk to you about the joys of croquet, my new podcast, apparently. I am kind of tempted to call it that now. You can find me at Charlotte Woolrich _photography or at Charlotte Woolrich _cosplay. Woolrich is spelled WOOLRYCH. Or you can find my portfolio and some pricing at charlottewoolrichphotography.com. It's a brand new website. It's got brand new images on it. I'm very excited. Yeah, I don't really use Twitter anymore, except to look up pictures of Catherine Han because she's a queen. So fuck Elon Musk. There
no, I that's why I moved over to Blue Sky. So yeah, I try to get as many people on Blue Sky because I think that's the future. But anyway,
nice.
Yeah, if you people need to find me on social media, I'm strange you're not following me, like the Blue Sky. Go to foodandcosplay.org/links. That's where you find all my social media links. If you go to foodandcosplay.org/podcast, you'll find previously recorded podcasts with Charlotte, other guests with others and different subjects. What else? What do I say and do? But yeah, and I do have a Patreon. I haven't kept up with my personal vlog, which I'm trying. I'm gonna have to get back into that habit now. So I might do one tomorrow. No, I'll record one tomorrow, which go at Thursday, I think. We'll see. Oh no, I can't do it Thursday. I'll try to do one this week. But yeah, and I'm hoping my schedule for MCM will come out soon. I'll put a note up somewhere on Instagram, social medias, and all that. Where
I'm not at MCM this year, so you have to shoot with Eddie.
I thought you were going to say I'm not at MCM. You still have to shoot with me.
You do still have to shoot with me, but you now have to pay me for it because it's outside of con. So in con, shoot with Eddie.
To be fair, I do have that new Pixel 10 phone, which has ProRes, which has 100 times zoom, and it does AI upscaling. So yeah, just stand at the window. I'll point the camera. We'll call that shoot done, right?
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, using it has 100 times zoom just makes you sound like a stalker straight up.
Oh god, yeah, it's just.
Oh yeah, it's got 100 times zoom, so I can take pictures of cosplayers eating, and they'll like never know.
To be fair, it doesn't do people. It won't upscale people, so it'll just get. So that's it. I don't know if it actually makes that noise. I want it to go.
We should try it.
Stand at the window. Don't stand at the window. Oh, shit. Anyway, on that note, oh god, I really sound like a stalker. I'm so sorry. On that note, I'm going to say goodbye, and they're going to say goodbye. So, bangers!
Bye!
I'm not a stalker.